town, south of Bonneville. That's the spot. Again, it's severe thunderstorm warning. It's not a tornado warning. It is a severe thunderstorm warning. Jacob's got more on that.
Yeah, we're going to hit the reset button here real fast on our stream, and welcome folks on our streaming platforms again here. We are watching a severe thunderstorm warning for Champaign County at this point. That storm is located south and west of Champaign. Now, the area we're watching is right in here, and there does appear to be a slight bit of rotation with that as we continue to monitor. Again, this is what we're observing here. The National Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Champaign County. I want to mention the NOAA weather radios for Champaign County are not working at this time. That's because the antenna that the National Weather Service has on our tower was damaged in some wind a little while ago. Now, this storm, very close to the Champaign Metro. You'll see here that tornado possible tag. Think of it as a step below a tornado warning here. You know, tornado warning, you're talking to your kid at home, he's grounded. Tornado possible tag, hey, watch out. Keep an eye on things here, and that's something that we'll continue to monitor. This now south of Bonneville is the area that we continue to watch. And Adam, as I pull up the sky cam real quick here, first off, folks, if you're online watching, let us know where you're watching from if you've got any reports. We're really thinking this storm will come more through Champaign, less through Urbana, but you can see here, that's the lowering area that we're watching due west of town. And Adam, do I have the right camera up there? There we go. It's going to turn here in a second. This is coming close to 5770, and I would suggest that that is starting to spin pretty decent. There's motion on it, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would say that looks like a little bit loud. Yeah. It's hard to tell with this bouncy camera and the low visibility, right? But something to watch out for sure.
Let me pull that full screen here, and you can see what we're observing. Okay, so that's going to be close to 5772, west of there. Mm-hmm. Okay, kind of watching, right in the middle of the screen there. This is going to be northwest Champaign on its track, and production, we will be ready to cut in on air. I'd say that rotation is picked up. I'm thinking maybe we should think about going.
Yeah.
All right, hey, production, if we can, let's go on air in the next minute or two. Just to do some wall-to-wall, and we'll probably clear out through the 9 o'clock. So go ahead and make that call, and we're going to start some wall-to-wall coverage here. And when we get ready, then I'd like to double box the camera from 3 with the camera from Weathermetrics 3, that is. I'm going to put the correct one in there for that. So we're going to kind of reset here, and they're going to let us know when we're ready to go on air. And then over here, we're going to turn this to production real quick, so you'll see the screen drop out. Okay. So when we go on air, Adam, go ahead and click that on button off, and we will.
Once we hit air.
Okay.
You say click it off once we hit air, correct?
Say it again.
Click it off once we get on air, correct?
Yeah, as soon as we get on air, we'll do that. So okay. Are we getting close to?
I told Al.
Say again.
I already told Al about the live today.
Okay. Again, I'd like.
Okay, now Marianne's making the call.
Say again.
Marianne's making the call.
A minute out?
No, she's making the call.
Oh, okay, perfect, thank you. Let's just pull that sky cam up while we're sitting here then. We're kind of getting things behind the scenes taken care of where I think it's.
You ready now or just wait a minute? Said you ready now?
Okay, that's okay. Okay, that's a tornado right there. We need to be on air right now. Get us on ASAP. ASAP. We've got a tornado down on the west side of Champaign at this point. We ready to go on air here?
She's still making the call.
Okay, let's make that call and let's go. If you're listening here, we've got a tornado down on the camera west of Champaign. Tornado in progress west of Champaign here. Go ahead and text Mike as well. Let him know.
Yes, we're ready. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
We are live now on TV, on CBS. We have a tornado in progress now on the west side of Champaign. That's the funnel cloud right now that just touched down. This has been now a confirmed tornado about 2 miles west of Champaign. Now, the funnel cloud itself has lifted. It has gone away, but there is a tornado that has just occurred, and we watched that. Tornado warning now forthcoming for Champaign County. This will include the city of Champaign. It will include areas north of Champaign towards Rantoul. It will include towards Thomasboro and the Gifford area. Confirmed tornado now located to the north and east of Champaign, and we are now on air for coverage of that here. And you'll see we watched that there momentarily as it moved off to the north and east. I'm meteorologist Jacob Dickey. We've got Adam Sharinsky here. That is the remnants of the funnel cloud that produced a tornado just west of Champaign at this point. The call now for all folks in Champaign, all folks in the area to seek shelter. In the back production, if we can double box the camera on Weathermetrics 3 and then radar, that would be great. Let's talk about who's in and who is out here. First off, the tornado warning does include Champaign. It does not include Urbana. This is a confirmed tornado that has touched down near Staley Road and Carver Lane on the west side of Champaign here. We saw that on our Skycam and relayed that information to the National Weather Service before we got on air here. The tornado now will be heading right up I-57. It does not appear to be down from what we've seen yet. We'd like to double box in the back, and Alec, let them know, double box Weathermetrics 3, the weather camera on one side, me on the other, as this storm moves to the north and east. This will be heading towards Thomasboro, Sellers, Flatville. It will be, we don't have double box?
No.
If you check in iNews on the severe weather show, if producer renders that, we can make that happen here. Rantoul is in the path. Gifford, Penfield, up towards northeastern Champaign County here. This is going to be very close to Marketplace Mall, North Prospect, North Neal, I-57-72, I-57-74, where this is. Adam, if you can keep an eye on the Skycam as well until we can get that double box there. It is crossing I-74 just to the west of I-57 here, where we've had this confirmed tornado touch down. We had that for a moment there on the Skycam. It does not appear at this point to be down. This is that area of rotation. If you're familiar with Champaign, right over there is the Waffle House, the Texas Roadhouse. Thinking breakfast food here this morning. The water tower there where Texas Roadhouse is, south of Parkland College. That.
Just letting you know, I'm just moving the camera.
Okay, Adam's moving the camera here. We're looking for other signs here. This is the area that we're watching. There was a confirmed tornado, and we observed that touched down very near Staley Road and Carver Lane. In the back, for the news side, if we can also keep an eye, if we've get any messages from that, I will keep an eye on that. But certainly, this is a storm that has a history of producing a tornado. And Adam, I think right in here is going to be the good vantage point. Turn it back a little bit. That's too far north. This right here, this feature that is now crossing I-57 has my eye the most. Zip it back just a little bit more here. There's a lot of turbulence in here, but
Turned it back to the left a little bit.
yeah, I see that here. Not seeing any photos at this point, but it very much now has crossed I-74. You thinking here, Adam, perhaps?
Yeah, it looks like there's a small little feature trying to go again.
I think we've got a new funnel developing right there.
That's what I'm looking at right now.
So that is going to be very near the, okay, yeah, there it is. We see it there. It's going to be northwest of Marketplace Mall, north of North Mattis. If you know where that wedding facility is, high school, St. Thomas More High School, very close to there. It's going to be racing to the north and east. The Market Street exit, Leverett Road, is where this storm is heading here. We watched one brief tornado touchdown and caught that briefly before we were able to jump on air. But that's that suspicious area where perhaps a new area of rotation is forming. One thing to mention, you'll see the clouds here. they're swirling around like that. So that is going to be what we watch there. Have we figured out in the back whether or not we can double box anything yet? We would really like to get that double box here, whether you just put one thing in or another. That's going to really help us out to get more eyes on this. That way we can take Max 2 in one, or me in one, and the other there. So Adam is looking at that. Let's go to radar real quick. Let's talk about where this storm is. A storm with a history of producing a tornado near Staley Road in Carver. It has since moved to the north and east here. We're going to get real close and start talking about some of these roads. North of I-74, that is Mattis here. There's Olympia. This is the Market Street exit. It is going to be over northwest Champaign, where this area of rotation is, and continues to be as it lifts to the north and to the east. Urbana, Carle Hospital, University of Illinois, not included in this. The city of Mahomet, not included in this. At this point, Marketplace Mall, North Market Street, you take that up to where the McDonald's is and the truck stop is, that is where it's going to be heading. 5774 interchange, just northeast of there. You think on North Neal Street, North Prospect, there's all those businesses. The Walmart is up there. We've got the double box. Oh, perfect. That'll work. And then in the other one, if we can put, do you have the camera full in yours by chance?
Yeah.
On your Max system?
I can pull it up.
Yeah, we're going to make sure that's Max 1 so we can look there on the right side. Adam's going to take care of that for us here. This is moving to the north and east. There's that double box there. So we'll continue to watch. You're seeing on the right side of your screen the rotation that produced the tornado that was reported at 8:45 a.m. near Staley Road and Kearns Road. It's now moving northeast of Alto Vineyards. It's heading towards the D&W Lake Camping and RV Park. It's going to be near the Road Ranger truck stop. Leverett is downstream from this. This will be coming close to Thomasboro. We don't see anything at this point on there, but the storm itself, it's moving quick. First off, when we have the scan, you're going to see the scan update in a minute, and it's going to be off here towards the Leverett Road, Market Street exit area on 45. Still, the National Weather Service saying there's still a tornado confirmed with this storm, and there you can see the updated polygon now. At this point, we'll give an all clear for the city of Champaign proper, the city of Urbana. If you live north of Champaign, north of the county line there, that is still included. I-57, Market Street, Leverett, Thomasboro, Flatville, Rantoul, Gifford, Penfield, Gordyville, the Middle Fork Reserve up in northeast Champaign County. This will be heading in that direction. Again, we've had a confirmed tornado report with this. That's all we have today, folks. Just this one storm here. Let's go ahead and bring my graphics full, or bring me full real quick. I'm going to point at radar while Adam adjusts that camera to look more north and northeast. Champaign County, the only area that has any reports of severe weather at this point, and the radar looks pretty clear. We will watch as some of these cells that are back building from Monticello down towards Laplace, Dalton City, Bement, trying to develop. It's in the right area. There's nothing that looks severe at that point for me. And we're seeing a shower that's popping in here, southwest Champaign, that'll be coming through downtown. That's not severe. The tornadic storm itself is now north of Champaign by about 3 miles, and it's moving up to the north and east, including Rantoul, Gifford, Penfield, and more. Something else, Adam, let's go ahead and bring that camera back. I think we're getting a good angle here where we can see where this confirmed tornado has occurred. I'm just checking on social real quick. Go ahead and, Adam, bring that, if we can bring Max 1 full. Adam, I'd like you to talk about what you are seeing on that and what you're looking at real quick.
Right now, not looking as impressive as it was. I'm scanning back and forth a couple of spots here and there on Max 1, looking at our camera here at the studio. And so far, not looking as fingery or these little, looks like little mini funnels or what could be a funnel. We haven't seen a lot of those as of late, but they had almost another funnel earlier on here. So we're just double backing and checking through, kind of scanning the skies right now, because right now we've just seen kind of back and forth with this in terms of rotation, or not rotation, but a little lowerings, I should say, not rotation. So we're keeping an eye on this, but it is just, it's moving so fast, it's hard to keep up with at times. So that's why we're just keeping an eye on the skies. There's one little spot that's caught my attention a little bit here. Moving off to the north here, that's what we're watching. This is looking at the north side of town, pushing to the north and east. Again, this is moving northeast about 50, 55 miles per hour here.
Yeah, it's moving quick, isn't it? Let's go ahead and pull up my Max 2 full screen. This is a photo from the University of Illinois Wind Research Center, the Resilience Center. You can see the tornado in the middle of the screen there as it touched down near Staley Road and Carver Lane. And we saw that on our camera, immediately relayed that report to the National Weather Service, and then sent it on its way. Staley Road is right on the west edge of town here. Carver Lane is going to be, let's see, Carver Lane, trying to see where exactly that is. We know it was on the west side of Champaign there, so that's something that we're watching. And there's a photo you can see on the screen, and that comes from some folks over at the University of Illinois that were watching it and keeping an eye on. It is 8:58. The news at 9 is about to start. We will continue with our wall-to-wall coverage for this confirmed tornado warning in Champaign County. And you can see now Champaign-Urbana in the clear. This is north of town, Thomasboro. Leverett, the storm is on top of you now, heading towards Flatville, Rantoul, Gifford, and Penfield, where we continue to monitor and keep an eye on things here for the next little bit. Want to mention?
It's getting a little bit worse with the camera, so it's hard to see what's going on.
Yeah, I see that there. Let me go ahead and real quick talk about what to do in a tornado warning. This is the first tornado warning for Champaign-Urbana surrounding areas in quite a while here. If you proceed to a safe place, if you live in a mobile home, you got to get out of that and head to a sturdier shelter here. You're in a car, no travel advised. On I-57 north to Rantoul, you're heading 136 east from Rantoul, heading over towards Danville or wherever you are. You don't want to be in your vehicle. Head to the nearest convenience store, the nearest gas station, the nearest rest stop, and seek shelter there until the time comes. Remember these three terms: in, down, and up. Get inside, most interior room, down as low as you can, covering up with blankets, a mattress, pillows, and whatnot, and do so until we're given the all clear, and we will give that for you. Champaign-Urbana, we're all clear. I know it's a school day. Schools are well aware of what's happening here. We'll check in with up in Rantoul District, the Gifford School District, and see if we can't hear something from them. And we'll continue coverage right here on TV and on digital platforms. You can open your phone from your safe spot as we monitor this. That is what you want to do. And again, another way to look at it, the best place to be, a tornado shelter or safe room. Most commercial establishments, schools, places like that will have a spot for you to shelter. An interior room or basement of a well-built building, a site-built home, another good place to be. Large open rooms, manufactured housing, not a great place. You talk about some big box marts, some grocery store, the department store, places like that, not good. Those open spans. Say that one more time. Live on the web. We should be live on the web. I'm live on my streaming platform. So it is live on the website also. If someone can confirm that, let me know. It's 9 o'clock right now. The news at 9, the morning show at 9 starts now, and we are talking about severe thunderstorms here with a confirmed tornado that touched down earlier. Apparently there's another report of a tornado now coming in, Adam. I don't know if you've been able to see it, but 5 miles north of Urbana, train spotters reported another tornado on the ground here.
I've not been able to see it.
5 minutes ago. That's where this tornado is. That's going to put it very much near Leverett and Thomasboro at this point. The visibility on a day like today, it's hard to see much. We saw that initial tornado on the Skycam, got on air as quick as we could, and then we continued to monitor it here as it moves on. I'm seeing several photos from that earlier tornado, Adam. I don't know if you've seen anything come in on social or not. We've got the news folks here. I know Matthew and Karina are watching and helping out on the digital side with this storm coming through as it moves off. Again, Champaign-Urbana, we're clear. The storm is past us now. We talk about Thomasboro, Rantoul, Flatville. If we can, I'm going to check the Facebook here as well. Champaign-Urbana is good. Lots of folks saying, hey, we've got folks saying, hey, I've seen the tornado. We saw it. We're going to send you a picture. I've got another picture I'm going to go check here of that particular tornado. I think Kevin might be out as well. We'll have to find out where Kevin is from that. So let me pull up this new photo real quick that I've got of that tornado. This comes from There it is. This comes from Andrew Pritchard. This was the second tornado of the day that touched down. Andrew's a great friend. We really, great meteorologist in town here. And there you can see, that's the second tornado that was 5 miles north of Urbana. So this storm now has a history of producing multiple tornadoes. This is the second tornado of the day in Champaign County, and which is why we are continuing our coverage. Thomasboro, the storm is on, near, or just east of you. Stay in shelter in Thomasboro for the next little bit as this continues off to the north and to the east. Rantoul, it will be a close call. Penfield, Gifford. This storm heading towards Gifford is the next in line for it here as it moves off to the east. An observed tornado. It's the second tornado we've had with this particular storm. We saw that rotation pulse up, Adam, about 8:45. I flipped on the sky cam, and lo and behold,
right there.
There it was. Yeah.
It's also pretty brief too. A lot of these spin-ups have been pretty brief, as we mentioned earlier this morning in our forecast. Any tornadoes that were going to happen weren't going to last super long. They're there. Maybe get a picture, maybe get to your safe space real quick and then gone.
Yeah, so okay, let's zoom in here, and if you can bring me back full on camera, I'm going to point out a couple of things. This is Thomasboro. There's 45. 57's right there. The Rantoul Sports Complex sits here. This is about halfway between downtown Rantoul and Thomasboro proper, just east of 45 at this point. As it carries to the north and east, then it will come crossing US 136 near the Bell plant, near Gifford and Gordyville in that particular area. Rantoul, let's go ahead and stay in shelter. And Rantoul proper, if you live east of I-57, just to be sure, it's a close call. It'll be down near the old Air Force Base there, Chanute Air Force Base, as it lifts off to the north and east. And so we're going to watch that very closely here, and we will monitor this particular storm. The storm to the north of it, Adam, just northeast of Rantoul, there might be something trying to organize there. I don't know if you see that. I'm going to take another look at it on a different product here, see if we can't, I wonder if maybe there's a second spot north of 136 that'll be heading through northeast rural Champaign County up towards Harwood and Kerr. Those are, I think, townships up there. The other one there just east of Thomasboro, so we're going to watch that. The other thing, too, Adam, is we haven't mentioned this. Okay, the new tornado warning, still reporting a confirmed tornado. There's the updated polygon. It's going to carry it towards the Bell plant east of Rantoul, Gordyville, Gifford, Penfield, and then off to the north and east in the county there. I know we've got news folks in the
tornado warning.
It's the same one. Okay, we've got a picture from Kevin of that tornado as well. I knew he was out there, so Kevin's probably listening to us as well. This was what Kevin Leidy, our chief meteorologist here, saw, and I'll flip that sideways. He saw that tornado west of Champaign here, and that's his photo that has come on in. So we've seen 2 tornadoes with this particular storm now in Champaign County. I have a feeling that coming up soon, we might talk about a tornado warning for extreme southeastern Ford County. That would be well east of Paxton. That'd be over towards Clarence, and then potentially into Vermilion County. Heads up for Rankin, East Lynn, and we will watch southern Iroquois County as we continue to monitor things here. Morning tornadoes, Adam.
We don't get those very often.
We don't get those very often, do we? But this is that morning where, these storms originated in Oklahoma, and they were a windbag out there. Lots of tornadoes as well. And now we're seeing some of the remnants of them tap into just enough instability to produce these tornadoes here. All right, funnel cloud reported by EMA on the east edge of Rantoul. That's that second circulation, Adam. That's the second one that's now just northeast of Rantoul. So we now have 2 areas of suspicion. And I tell you what, the one between Rankin and Cessna Park at this point, I think it's safe to say that the potential is there for most all of them. Let's flip on base velocity. The northeast edge of Rantoul, this is the funnel cloud, the circulation that has produced that new funnel cloud on the second storm here. And then we can see the other circulation now on the southeast side. So we've got 2 spots we're watching, one now north of the Bell plant, one now south of Rantoul, moving off to the north and east. In news, can we reach out to Gifford Grade School just to see how they're doing? I want to hear from them, make sure they're sheltered and the kids are good there, because it's a school day. So if we can reach out to them. Rantoul, I would go ahead and stay in your shelter just for a few more minutes, but at this point now, Gifford, Gordyville, the Bell Plant will give the all clear for the Thomasboro proper. We'll give the all clear for Flatville. It is just north and west of there, moving in a northeast direction at 50 miles an hour. I tell you what, Adam, as I switch here with base velocity to southern Iroquois County, I think we'll have to watch this particular storm near Rankin and keep an eye on that as we're starting to see more of these storms show signs of rotation. Let's backtrack real quick, Adam. Leave those storms alone. We are looking now at the storm southwest of Champaign-Urbana. We might not be done yet. That storm near Beamont, in particular, looking a little impressive. Impressive relative. These storms aren't looking all that fantastic. You know, they're not your classic type of big-time severe weather days, but you know, we see these little cores and a lot of wind shear, and that's enough to get things going. So still going to keep an eye out for Champaign County. Just because this storm is exited doesn't mean we're done yet. And if I flip over to our velocity product, we're looking at how things are moving. It's not overly strong, but it's got to start somewhere, and so maybe that will carry in our direction before long. So we will continue to monitor and keep an eye on things here. Seems like northeast Champaign County is the storm so far. Funnel cloud reported at 9 a.m. near Route 136 and 1800 East in Rantoul. And as I go up and check up there, 1800 East is right on the east side there. You know where the wastewater plant is in Rantoul. You know where the, I think the old Walmart in the east side there. It's the old building. I think it's some other store now. I think it's Rural King. It's just east of there now. Rantoul proper will give you the all clear if you live in the city limits for this particular storm now. It's going to be just east of you. There's two spots now, southeast of Ludlow and northwest of Flatville, which we will watch closely here for the next little bit. This warning is set to expire at 9:15. However, given the day, I think we will probably have more warnings beyond that. We'll stay with you on digital platforms. We'll stay with you on the app. We will stay with you on TV until this passes here with multiple tornadoes and or funnel clouds being reported here in the area. And let's see if we've got any new photos coming in from this here. I'm just checking the social as well. Northeast Champaign County, where we're talking about, there's a lot of folks that are clear from this today, at least from the severe and tornado threat. However, there's a lot of wind out there. In fact, Bloomington Airport, something I didn't mention, Bloomington Airport reported a 61 mile per hour wind gust not related to any thunderstorms. There's a lot of strong winds today. A wind advisory is in place. Okay, I got a new photo coming in from David Marshall. He took this photo looking north from town, and we'll see if it pops up here. That's the picture he had. And that, honestly, I think might be the Parkland College field, kind of looking at that. There you can see in the middle of your screen is that first of two tornadoes that has touched
Jacob,
down.
Supposedly we're not live on the website right now.
No. It's probably at the bottom. Okay, let me just check real quick. The things have changed a little bit, the way our streaming works. So I will check real quick. Again, we're still watching that tornado warning in Champaign County. We are on digital platforms, our Facebook, our Twitter, places like that you can watch. Let's see here. Yeah, I see us live on the website. You got to scroll all the way to the bottom there on that live stream page. So we are live on the website as well because of this situation right here where we've had that tornado. So if you're looking for the live stream on the app, on the website, go all the way to the bottom of that new live stream page because we've got these storms that are moving on through. This tornado warning expires in less than 4 minutes. What happens next? I suspect we're not done yet. You can see there, it's because we've had two tornadoes in Champaign County, and that'll be, boy, I can't remember the last time we had February tornadoes in Central. It's been a few years, but this has been a weird winter when it comes to that. Okay, perfect. They see it in the back. So it's now east of Rantoul. Rantoul, you're clear. Thomasboro, you're clear. Gordyville, Gifford, northeast Champaign County, Penfield. You know, you get up there, there's not a whole lot in that neck of the woods, but the Middle Fork Reserve, Middle Fork River Forest Preserve is up there. And then downstream is Clarence and Rankin, and we're going to watch those areas. I don't know, Adam, if you've seen anything on the sky cam at all at this point. You kind of see the flat base.
Right, but I'm gonna start switching down to the south because I can see a better view down there of those cells. They're not overly impressive on radar for reflectivity, but they are starting to show little bits of rotation in it, and that's to be expected. But still, we had one of those storms earlier on. It didn't look that impressive, and then it ramped up there.
And all of a sudden we had a tornado down.
Exactly, and then we had a tornado while we were live streaming. So I'm going to move those cameras around here to get a better idea of what's going on.
Yeah, so the rotation on our tornado-warned storm now, it's very evident to me. It's going to be halfway between Rantoul and Gifford, just south of the Bell Plant. That's Dillsburg, East Side Mobile Home Village. It'll be moving towards Gordyville. It'll be close to Gifford. It's a close call there for folks that are in those areas. So we will continue to watch. That photo I showed you earlier was actually St. Thomas More High School looking northeast. So that was the second tornado that someone spotted, not the first one. I thought for a second maybe that was Parkland College. I saw the green and I was like, oh, that looks like that. But that second photo I just showed you moments ago was from St. Thomas More. And just checking here, see if we've got any new photos or videos coming on in. I haven't seen a whole lot yet, but we are watching. And okay, actually, I may have a lot here to keep an eye on things. So, okay. Perfect. Okay, I'm getting plenty of these photos here. In fact, we're just going to slip to the messenger here and show you what they look like, again, for these confirmed tornadoes that we've had. This is a photo that I've got. This is the first tornado, and there you can see it's impressive looking. In fact, I'll turn it sideways. I think that'll make it bigger for you. This is a look from Rising Earth. There it is. There's that rope tornado that touched down earlier, and that photo came on in a few minutes ago. I'm checking my inbox. That was from Chris Heller, Rising Road near Springfield Road, and so that is certainly what we have had here across the region. We've got some more videos and stuff. I'm going to look through those as I can here, but of course the main call to action at this point is we've had a history of tornadoes and we want to let you know where they are, and that's why we are staying with you here. All right, this storm now sitting on 136. You know, if this was June, July, this would be next to nothing here, but these are almost low-topped mini supercell thunderstorms, and they're taking advantage of some incredible wind shear as it moves off to the north and east.
It does not take much this time of year to get supercells, mini supercells to go.
Yeah. I mean, there's wind shear that's off the charts here for us. So, Adam, what I'd like to do is I'd like to turn it over to you for some radar analysis real quick, and you can just bring him full screen. I'm going to look at some of the messages and try and get some photos to you so we can show you what's happened here as we watch now the tornado warning for Champaign County. We'll find out. We're going to stay with this for a little while longer here. The tornado warning has just dropped. If they don't reissue one, sometimes it takes them a minute. If they don't reissue one, then by about 9:20, we will cut back or take a commercial break before we join what's left of the newscast at 9. So, Adam, go ahead and take it for a minute here and talk about all of the storms, what's going on, and we'll see what kind of photos we've got here in a little bit.
Yeah, right now we're seeing showers and thunderstorms, very much unsevere warned storms from Champaign all the way down to Met and move through here. Again, no warnings associated with that just yet. We've seen little pockets of small rotation, but the more impressive rotation was earlier on with those storms to north. We go to Penfield and just to the east of Rantoul. Those storms, little cells out there, little blips. Again, these are not impressive for June, July, but for February, these are impressive storms. Now we're seeing those storms that we saw earlier on and start to move off to the north and east towards Milford, Cissna Park, and again, those aren't tornado warned anymore. A lot of that activity moving out of here. So far, it's been fairly quiet. These storms, again, now starting to pick up a little bit more in terms of maybe precipitation just to the west near Staley and Bonneville. They're out towards the western side of Staley and Bonneville. That's where we're seeing a little bit more of the pickup in terms of precipitation there, but not seeing anything on velocity that would suggest us seeing a little bit more of the rotation that we've seen earlier on here. Again, we have some cells that we're still watching for, and again, conditions are still right for some of these storms to reach severe limits. And as mentioned before earlier this morning, we had the chance for severe thunderstorms. We have had a severe thunderstorm warning turned into a tornado warning, and even brief spin-ups were part of the forecast for today, and we've seen that as well. So it's It's really played out kind of the way we anticipated it to. But these storms are now starting to move. Very small, tiny cells are not county-wide or anything, but these are small cells that are pushing through. And again, the one I'm really interested in right now is just to the west of Champaign, Bonneville, Staley, only because it looks like there's an update from the radar. A little bit of precipitation on that on the heavier end, not quite as impressive the second round. Again, these are some spots where we're just seeing these little kind of a little bit of these storms that start to spin a little bit here, and that's anticipated with the wind shear that we've had here with these cells. Not these big, robust supercells that we usually see in the spring and summer. These are more of these small mini supercells that we've talked about before here in central Illinois. So here's a look at Champaign County. Out towards the west of Champaign, we're seeing that little cell out there between Seymour, Champaign, route just to the north of Route 10, now crossing 74, north of Marketplace. You go down to the south, there's like a train almost of just cells. Good news is they're not severe. Warned right now. We're still keeping an eye on them. Might be a little bit of rotation with them, but overall, we're not really seeing anything that would warrant a warning just yet here. We're going to keep an eye on these storms as we progress forward into time. Beeman, that's the area where we saw a little bit where we had that storm earlier on near Cerro Gordo. Those were the cells we have, and now those are starting to fizzle out a little bit, some of those cells. We'll keep an eye on it. Again, we have had great wind shear for these thunderstorms to kind of grow in this environment for today, but now we're starting to see them not quite as interesting in terms of rotation here. One cell out towards just to the west of Champaign may be worth watching. It looks like there's a little bit of a tiny little bit of a small hail core there, but we'll have to keep an eye on that. Again, precipitation kind of downgraded on that storm just to the west of Champaign between Mahomet and Champaign. We're watching these storms very carefully, though. These storms kind of following a similar path to the north and east here. Those storms off to the north that we had the tornado warning for, overall, those have started to really fall apart. There's Milford, probably one of the more interesting cells to the north, near Watseka, not too far from Watseka, just to the south of Watseka here. And looking at Thomasboro, Champaign, that's where we're seeing more shower and thunderstorm activity here. Jacob, if you're still up with us, would you like to go back on?
Yeah, I'm ready to show you some photos here.
There we go.
We want to show you some photos. The inbox is full from these two tornadoes we've had in Champaign County this morning. We have not heard from any damage here. These are viewer photos that have come on in. You could see that appears to be 72 west. Again, the tornado touched down on Staley Road, just near 72. We have not heard of any damage from Champaign County EMA. We've got news folks that are probably calling and letting us know. You can see there's some more of those pictures. A small rope funnel that's right in there. This appears to be looking. I'm trying to place my vantage here. This looks to maybe be looking to the almost south, I think, based on the angle of that. More photos coming in, and you look in the middle, you can almost see that little triangle hanging down. And I'll fix the. One of these days I'll get it right. There we go. You can see right in the middle of the screen there, above that car, that almost triangle-shaped feature hanging down, that's the funnel cloud. This one, I think, came from, if I remember correctly, Ford City, looking north of Urbana at the second tornado that touched down 5 miles north of town. That'd be close to the Leverett area. And so we will have news crews that are out watching and looking at things like this, as we've had two tornadoes now in Champaign County with the morning around here. This may not be it. We may not be done yet. A window of opportunity exists until about 11 a.m. or so as we continue to monitor. Again, these photos coming in from viewers on my Facebook page, we appreciate that. As you can see, those tornadoes that are have touched down, it appears, thankfully, not by much, but appears, thankfully, in mostly rural areas at this point. Again, no reports of damage at this point from the National Weather Service, just brief touchdowns that we've had here in the region. So we will continue to watch closely here. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to reset, give you a rundown what's happening right now. I think we'll take a commercial break. That way we can reset, figure out how we want to start the news at 9, because there are no active warnings. And at this point, I don't see an active threat in the immediate future. Now, that may change. A lot of wind shear. We've still got some storms developing. I don't know if you've been looking at the camera west at all from Champaign to kind of keep an eye on those storms. That was the first sign of, oh, something's going on. So we've got Adam here watching. Kevin's out in the field. He's sent us some pictures of those tornadoes. If you live in Springfield, Decatur, Bloomington, Clinton, you live in Taylorville, you're done for the day. it's going to be windy. There's a wind advisory in effect. We've got blustery winds. We were watching really is along and east of I-57. We'll go ahead and put Shelby and Moultrie counties in as well with that. You know, Effingham, Mattoon, Charleston, Champaign-Urbana up towards Watseka, where we still have some of these small little cells in place here. Storms down by Moultrie and Shelby County, they are small, but they don't have to be big to produce tornadoes. We'll see some storms over the lake there moving towards Sullivan. And
We've been watching those because I noticed them pop up.
yeah. You know, they don't look all that impressive, but that's okay here. You can see I'm looking for reds and greens. I don't see a whole lot. However, the rotation is very shallow. You know, we're looking at these storms here. The National Weather Service is saying, hey, they're watching more areas of rotation near Bondville and northwest here. So if you can turn the camera, I think we're going to stay with this for a little bit longer here, just because we're seeing some rotation start to increase again west of Champaign. If you've got the studio or the stadium camera on Max 1 up, let's get the camera on Max. Let's take the camera full screen on Max 1.
Very wet, soggy camera.
He's you kind of see where I'm pointing out here. You know, we're sitting there. There's that little spot. There's another spot there. So
Hard to see.
okay, go ahead and pull the Max 1 full real quick here.
Switch cameras. Switch over to the stadium camera real quick.
Okay, if in the back, somebody in the back, get us on Max 1 full real quick here. There we go, perfect. Okay, so we're looking, and this is looking
To the west. Well, that was the west.
that's
Back. I'm turning it back.
okay. Okay, perfect. And thanks for letting me know that, Jared. Yeah, there's some rain kind of mixed there. It's hard to see much.
Very hard to see with this storm.
We got lucky with how close that first tornado was to the sky cam there. We know the spotters are out as well. And spotters are an integral part of the warning process here. And so, you know, at this point, there might be a slight area just north of I-74-57 that would carry in the same direction as the last one. It's not overly concerning, but it can wrap up pretty quickly here, and that's something that we'll have to monitor and keep an eye on for the next little bit. Okay, with that, let's go ahead and wind down here in the next few minutes, in the next minute or so. And I'm going to show you radar one last time, talk about in, out, Champaign County, Iroquois, Vermilion, southeastern Ford County, we're watching, Douglas, Moultrie, Shelby, Coles County, Edgar County, we're watching for some of those areas where there might be something that tries to materialize. Adam's going to be here watching Skycams, watching social media. I'll be here through the 9. We'll have another weather update coming up. We've got Matthew and Karina that are at the desk for us, and so we will continue to watch this. We'll probably leave our digital stream up, so if you're watching us on digital platforms, we have no active tornado warnings, but we'll stream the news at 9 live here for you. With that, we will wrap up our severe weather coverage here. It is 9:24. We're going to pay some bills with a commercial break, and then we'll come back with updates on the tornadoes in Champaign County and get some local news in there as well. Thanks for watching us. We'll be right back after this.
I opened up your mic again on 5.
That's okay.
Jacob?
Okay, are you done with the over-the-air live break-in coverage? Because CIX has nothing to go to right now unless they go back to programming.
Okay. What is your question?
Live from your local news leader, Karina Rubio, Matthew White.
Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Jacob Dickey.
You're watching The Morning Show at 9 on WCIA 3.
Well, welcome back to The Morning Show at 9. I'm Matthew White.
And I'm Karina Rubio. We will continue severe weather coverage in studio here in just a bit. But first, here's a look at today's top stories. The Vermilion County Sheriff's Office says an Indiana deputy is recovering in the hospital after authorities say an Urbana man shot him during a police chase that crossed state lines.
Now, that chase started with a traffic stop in Danville and then ended in Indiana near Dana. Authorities say the driver, Justin Henry, took off and police followed him as he was wanted for attempted murder. Indiana State Police say that he got out of his car and shot Deputy Joey Wilson in the leg. State Police say that he then ran into a barn and stole a truck, which officers fired at the truck, hitting Henry. There is, however, no condition on the suspect, but 7 officers in Indiana are on administrative leave as this investigation continues. In other news, a Springfield teenager was sentenced to 50 years in prison for murder. 19-year-old Jerome Schmidt shot and killed 64-year-old Michael Brown from Hammond in 2021. 2 others were charged in connection to the shooting, and then a minor took a plea bargain for a burglary charge and is set to be sentenced next month.
Champaign firefighters put out a small house fire yesterday. It happened near Park Terrace Lane and Roberts Drive. Someone passing by heard a smoke alarm going off and called for help. Crews say they saw smoke coming from the roof. They were able to get that fire under control quickly. Officials say the house was under renovation. Nobody was inside at the time and no one was hurt.
Now, 4 former Acorn employees have filed a class action lawsuit against the company. Acorn Pharmaceuticals laid off all of their Decatur employees last week with no notice, and the workers say the company violated the WARN Act, which is a state law requiring businesses with 75 or more employees to give at least 60 days notice before layoffs. The Department of Labor is also investigating Acorn for possible violations. Now, we have learned that the Effingham School District has been without technology for over 2 weeks, and now their superintendent is talking about steps they're taking to get it back and prevent future network issues.
They are still investigating what happened. WCIA3's Ariana Williams gives us the latest.
On the morning of February 9th, Effingham School District's network went out. Superintendent Andrew Johnson says he originally thought it was a power outage in the area.
Once we got into it deeper, we found out that it was a far bigger problem than that.
But when he realized his schools were the only ones affected, he knew something was wrong.
We have obviously been in contact with law enforcement out of the gate, not knowing again and still not knowing for sure everything that's going on.
Since the outage, they've been working with an investigative group, and since it's still ongoing, he can't share everything right now. But he is certain that no one's information has been compromised.
Try to make sure you keep a close eye on what people are experiencing in other communities or within your own community.
Now the district is doing all they can to ensure that it doesn't happen again, and they're trying to prevent it from happening to others as well.
Every single day as we move forward, we're getting more and more and more things back that we had that we couldn't utilize at the point that we were interrupted.
But some good did come out of the outage.
So always build in that backup plan to make sure whatever your business or organization is utilizing technology, that also plan for the day that you might not have it to be able to still function.
It could take weeks to months for the district to be fully operational again, but access will come back little by little over the course of that time.
Now, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Jacob Dickey.
Well, hello here. We are back, and Adam, if you want to switch the switcher real quick. We are doing another quick 4-minute hit for you on storms in the area. You've seen us this morning. We were hoping we wouldn't have to cut in, but we've ended up with 2 confirmed tornadoes earlier this morning in Champaign County. Right now, at 9:34, we can reset. There are no tornado warnings, no active weather alerts on the severe side in our area. This is Storm Tracker Doppler. A couple of these spots we'll have to watch. We are watching closely Moultrie and Shelby County, a couple of cells down that way. And we'll zoom in for those down there. This will be over the lake from Sullivan to the southwest towards Shelbyville. They don't look all that impressive, but there's a lot of wind shear, and just a little instability is helping to make some of these spin a little bit, and so we will keep an eye on that. Any cells that try and develop further to the south and east of this little line here, this one in northeastern Cumberland County, we'll keep an eye on it. Nothing imminently concerning on that. Then we get to Champaign County here, and now city of Champaign and Urbana is starting to get some more rain and perhaps even some thunder in there. We'll check and see if there's any lightning. There is. I haven't heard any, but do I hear the rain?
I've heard it.
You've heard? I don't hear a lot of things. I have a hearing aid. That's okay. So you see this here sitting over town. We are watching for perhaps a little bit of rotation in some of these here. And as I switch over to the base velocity, we show you the reds and the greens and the yellows and whatnot. That's the radar showing the intensity of the storms. This shows us how those storms are moving. And we almost see some of these little blips of pink that are next to those reds there. It's not traditionally how we look at it. And I'll switch to another view to try and get an angle on it. But it appears that there may be some very, very weak circulations now within these cells. At this point, I don't think we're going to see a tornado develop from them, but it's something that we'll watch here as these cells continue to the north and east. And given what has happened this morning, certainly we just keep an eye on things for the next little bit. Now, if you're done with the storm, say you're in Springfield, Decatur, you're in Bloomington, Pontiac, the severe threat pretty much over there. There still, though, is a wind advisory that is in place for all of our area. We are still expecting wind gusts 40 to 50 miles an hour to continue for the next several hours as that wind advisory goes through tonight. And you'll notice here some of those sustained winds are out of the south direction ahead of this system. South and west now. We've had some sustained winds of 20 to 35 miles an hour. Those wind gusts at times here. We had a wind gust of 45 in Champaign, 36 in Springfield. At one point, Bloomington Airport reported a non-thunderstorm wind gust of 61 miles per hour. We don't think there was any storms tied to that based on radar. It's just the strength of the load passing on by, bringing all this air on in. This setup has allowed for the potential for some of those strong storms in the area. I do want to show you real quick again some photos that we've had come in. There have been a number of power outages as well from the wind, but we want to spend some time showing you those tornadoes earlier in Champaign County and what they looked like here. Lots of messages. I think this photo may have been actually the first tornado, but we've had 2 of them. One near Staley Road on the west side of Champaign. Does not appear there was any damage there. There was also another then north of Urbana up towards the Leverett and Thomasboro communities that we've got photos of here. You'll see, you got this full screen for you. Little rope tornadoes here. These were circulations that lasted a couple of minutes. That was it. And as they continued off to the north and east, that one there, I recall, is the second one looking north from Urbana as this slid on by town here. Pretty impressive for the month of February. And very impressive to see that as we continue to have more photos coming on in. News is taking a look as well. If you've got messages, you can send that to us on our Facebook page and whatnot as we see several of these viewer photos come on in of the confirmed tornadoes in Champaign County. Again, at this point, we've got nothing of imminence happening in the region here. We are continuing to watch. Coming up, we will get hopefully, as long as nothing else happens, get a full look at your forecast here. We may go from showers and thunderstorms to maybe some snow by the end of the week. I'll have another check of your forecast later on this morning. We are back now. We do not have any warnings at this point, but I expect a new warning to come momentarily. We had a viewer message just come in showing a tornado southeast of Paxton. That's going to be with this cell right here, and I could see the photo. I'll show you that here in a second. I'm hoping we get the warning to populate. And again, have sent that report to the National Weather Service. Sometimes it takes them a minute to type it up. We also have those storms in Champaign County, but this is the cell that was coming through earlier that I would have had that tornado if that's the case. And I'm waiting to get more information from that, but I firmly believe at this point that there still is a bit of an issue for that area. Now, I look and you don't see a whole lot here, but I also see southeast of Rantoul, there's another spot that we've got to watch here, and so we're probably going to just take the newscast from this point on because of these new reports that are coming on in. Let me show you the photos and why I'm suspicious of this here. First off, the view that they have, there's a couple of things that tell me that this is a new tornado that has happened. You look, if you're familiar with Paxton and off to the east, let me show you that photo here. On the left side of the screen, you can see the windmill. That is the wind farm in eastern Ford County, and that does not look like any of the other tornadoes that we've had here. So this is something that we're watching very closely. With the report coming in from the east of Paxton, and Adam is here with me. Adam, that doesn't look like the other tornadoes we've had.
No.
It does not. So this is a new tornado now to the east of Paxton. A heads up for the Rankin area, East Lynn, until we can figure out more of what's happening here. This is a third tornado. And we're going to get a new warning southwest of Champaign as well coming momentarily. Another tornado warning likely coming for the city of Champaign. Adam, you're going to have that sky cam. Have you seen any rotation on that at all?
I'm having a hard time. Some of those cameras are not cooperating.
Nothing seems to be cooperating. That's going to be this cell right here. Go ahead and bring me full screen. We've got multiple storms now where we expect either a tornado warning or there have been reports of tornadoes. And because it's the 9 o'clock newscast, Adam, if you can fix the switcher, get us on the digital there. There we go. So we're on digital now as well, back with the potential perhaps 1 or 2 new tornado warnings coming. This one will include Champaign and Urbana, and capable of producing a tornado near Champaign or Urbana. So this is going to be west and northwest of Willard Airport now. A new tornado warning for Champaign County until 10:15. In fact, you probably hear the alerts going off. Cell phone alerts are going off across the newsroom. This is a tornado now likely, I think, at this point, given what's happened, for south of west of Champaign, west of Willard Airport. So we're with you on digital platforms. We're with you in Champaign and in Urbana. We've already had 2, perhaps 3 tornadoes with this particular storm, and this particular day, I should say. This new tornado warning is going to include Champaign County. I still think there are several chances for this storm southeast of Paxton as well to have a tornado, and the National Weather Service in Chicago probably should be having a tornado warning come out on that unless the storm looks to be weakening. So we're going to watch that closely. Hey, Alec, if you can tighten up my camera shot a little bit for me, I'd like folks to be able to see as much as they can as we talk to them. Remember, you're watching us on TV, you're watching us on digital platforms, you're also watching us on the app. We're streaming there. Remember that we can continue to monitor things from your safe spot by downloading the app, going to Facebook, going to Twitter, and heading to your shelter. Again, this tornado warning now going to include the city of Champaign, that area of rotation now, very near Curtis Road and I-57. And if you've got the chance, let's double box real quick. Adam, you can. I think that's going to be where you're looking down there to the south and west, a little bit more left. Let's go ahead and bring Max 1 full. Let's bring it full. That is the general direction that our developing tornado would be in the Champaign-Urbana area, kind of in the right center part of the screen there, I think. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Again, this is southwest of Champaign. Yeah, Matthew's pointing it out over there on the quad. We'll hire you after this. The rotation, now you see Curtis Road and 57, it'll be moving to the north and east. This warning does include all of Champaign. It includes all of Urbana. It also includes the University of Illinois, and it's going to include areas to the north and east up towards Gifford again, and places like that. So we know we've got Adam Sherwinski is in here. I'm here. Kevin is in the field. This particular warning goes now for Royal and Penfield, just southeast of Rantoul. But that other storm east of Paxton has also produced a tornado. And so we're going to watch all of these storms very closely. Getting more photos reports from that, more reports coming in. There is likely going to be a tornado watch coming shortly too, based on what we're seeing, and that may not include Illinois at this point. At this point, tornado watch, tornado warning, doesn't really matter. We're going to be here and watch closely. All right, let's go ahead and bring the radar back full here. I'm going to point out some things and real quick, and then we're going to double box again. Adam, you keep a close eye on that camera. City of Champaign, City of Urbana, go ahead and shelter at this point, safe place. If you're watching us in St. Joseph, keep an eye out. Mahomet, you're good. Sedoris, Tolono, you're good. And we'll continue to monitor here. This storm now just in the southwest part of Champaign. It's going to be close to Jupiter's at the Crossing, if you're familiar with that. It'll be down towards Robeson Park, Robeson Elementary School, moving off to the north and east. This will, we name specific spots, but just know anyone in the city of Champaign and anyone in the city of Urbana needs to shelter because that and this tornado warning. We are staying on wall-to-wall coverage here until further notice for these warnings. We are with you on digital. We are with you on online and on TV. At this point as well, I'd like to go ahead and advise all non-essential staff at the station to proceed to the severe weather shelter. All non-essential staff at the TV station, given what's happened, out of an abundance of caution, just go ahead and head to the shelter. We've got a basement here. Lots of folks have in town basements, so we will practice what we preach and send those folks there as well. So all non-essential staff at the station, go ahead and just shelter out of an abundance of caution here. We encourage everyone in Champaign and Urbana to be in their shelters. Willard Airport southward, all clear. I-57 west, all clear. This is for Champaign and Urbana. Let's bring back the camera real quick here.
I can't see anything but rain right now.
Nothing but rain. Yeah, we're kind of in that angle where there's some rain. Are you looking at the stadium camera? Can we get
this? This is the studio camera.
Stadium camera.
You want stadium?
I want the stadium. That's a little further south. Will give us a better view of that. Adam's going to monitor that here. This tornado warning goes until 10:15, so let's go ahead and double box real quick between Adam and Max 1 and me on Max 2 here. And you'll see there's the view on the right side of your screen of what's coming into town. You look at it, and there certainly is some turbulence in there. There will be some strong winds. We're going to watch for any sort of circulation on the ground. It's racing quickly to the north and east, isn't it, Adam?
Yes.
So it's moving, I think, at what, 45 miles an hour. So very quickly, that's going to move overhead, and we'll turn the angle down, turn the camera around. But not yet. I mean, I think we're still kind of looking at those clouds heading in our direction.
Tell me which direction you want me to move.
It kind of looks like it's getting close to our station here, but at this point, still City of Champaign, City of Urbana. So we'll kind of hold it and slowly start turning it
that way?
Yeah, a little bit. I feel like that's where it might be here.
This is the stadium camera, too, by the way.
Say it again?
This is the stadium camera.
That's the stadium camera, correct. Okay.
So this is a Memorial Stadium.
It appears at this point it's going to be close to Kirby Avenue and 45. Kirby Avenue and 45. And that's going to be right next to the stadium, so if there's any rotation, it's there. A lot of heavy rain at the TV station. We can hear it. This will be moving right over the campus of the University of Illinois any second. It will be heading towards Carle Hospital. It'll be moving off into northeast Urbana, the Urbana Country Club, downtown Urbana. This will be very close to Urbana High School. It eventually is going to carry it off to the north and east of the Frasca Field, High Cross Road downstream. It's moving quick here. And it will continue to move north and east at 45 miles an hour. And we're still going to hold for Champaign and Urbana as we watch these storms. Okay, let's go ahead and turn the camera more to the north and east. There's almost a second area I'm watching that's now over northeast Urbana. It's kind of hard. These storms are almost clustered together. And we'll give it the 180 spin here.
So looking out from northeast of the stadium?
Yeah. So that's the power plant. There's
the stadium right there. Well, this is Memorial
So that's
Stadium.
campus. So if we keep it in that direction, is that lightning that's flashing on that?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So that's looking off north and east. You can see the bottom there. That's Memorial Stadium. And campus, you can see the South Tower. Way off in the distance on the left side of the screen, you can see Carle Hospital and some of the campus places like that. Just kind of checking the reports here. I mean, the photos are coming in fast and furious. All right, getting reports of some small hail. Looks like pea-sized hail at the Round Barton Center in West Champaign. I'm not surprised by that. Okay, 74 eastbound. One thing too, if you send us a report, a photo, let us know when it was. That's going to help us out because there are so many different spots that have been spinning and causing problems with this particular type of day. So
where's the rotation at exactly in conjunction with Champaign-Urbana? Is it
now it's going to be just southwest of Carl Hospital.
So
where it's going to be at. Yeah, it's moving. This storm's moving highway speeds through town here.
Yeah.
So still over U of I. Champaign, give me another minute. I know the lines between Champaign and Urbana are blurred on who lives where. We're going to just say all calls still for Champaign-Urbana to stay in shelter. And this storm moving off to the north and east. Further downstream, this will be northeast Urbana. It will be the Sellers area, Flatville, Royal. It'll be heading towards Gifford and Penfield. I know out in the Flatville area, you got the Prairie View Ogden School District. The second elementary school is up north there, and I think that's. Let me double check that. Schools are aware of what's happening today, first off. I know it's a school morning. You've got Flatville Grade School out there. That's what that is. And in the old elementary school, I guess, in Royal, I don't think that's still there anymore, but this is heading in that direction. Schools are aware of what's happening. They're watching us. I've gotten messages from teachers and messages, hey, we're watching you. We're sheltering. They're watching us on Facebook. They're watching us on Twitter. They're watching us on the app. All places to continue to monitor this particular storm as it moves off to the north and east. All right, let's check here a little bit more into what's going on. Remember, let me go ahead and bring me back full here. Remember, when we look at radar, this is a snapshot of the storm. The radar beam, you see it sweeping on by. Every 3 or 4 minutes, we get a storm, scan, and it looks at it. It says, hey, here's where the storm is. The next image is going to show this storm more over I-74, and there's the update, actually, the warning, trimming it back. So we'll give an all clear for Champaign city limits. All clear if you live west of downtown Urbana and south of downtown Urbana. North Cunningham, North 45, towards, let's check some info here. Still moving northeast at 45. The Augerville community, Willow Creek Farms. There's the Frasca Field east of there is where this storm is heading into northeast Urbana, close to Cunningham. And between I-74 and the Cunningham and the University exits, this will be coming right up the Brownfield Road area by the Carroll Fire Protection District. And again, this scan is a minute or two old. When the new one pops up, you'll see it advance further here. It's like you're taking a picture of a semi-truck going by. You go click, and then the semi keeps on going. By the time you look at your phone, it's already down that way. And so we'll see it. There's the new update there. Right, in fact, right there, that's Brownfield Road, Augerville, Carroll Fire Department. There's the area of rotation now over 74 at Cunningham. We would love to get a look at this as much as we can, but the problem is that this rain coming in behind it is going to obstruct our view at this point.
Jacob, is that rotation here on Max 1?
Yeah, go ahead and pull Max 1 up real quick.
I'm just wondering if that's an area of rotation to look out for. It's we're looking out north and east beyond the university, past the hospital.
I'm suspicious of both the left side, and there's also a feacher on the right side here.
Right. That's why I called your attention to it.
Yeah, I'm glad you did that here. The next cell is going to wrap into the back side. Go ahead and say that again, Jared. All right, we've got tornado video available. We'll take that in a moment here. Let's continue to watch these storms move off to the north and east again. This sits at Memorial Stadium, is now looking towards northeast Urbana, and you can see on the left side some sort of lowered area. There is some weak motion. There's a very faint feature on the right side that also indicates that there might be something in place. Now, this is video from earlier. Let's pull the video really quick and run that. I still want to watch the back. Okay, this looks like this is the Ranger up on Market Street exit, and that tornado coming by just west of Leverett. And so you can see that coming by. Wow, that's impressive. This is what we've dealt with this morning, is multiple tornadoes in Champaign County. This was the second tornado. We know of 3 tornadoes so far in our area. This was number 2 off of I-57. John sent that in.
There is, never mind. You're good. You're good.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry.
I just saw that update for the new the same tornado warning here. So that's the video. That's great video. That's excellent. We know at this point EMA has reported no damage with the new storms. We'll continue to watch and keep an eye on things. And so that is video from, oh goodness, was that about an hour ago that was?
Roughly.
Was that what that was?
What?
That second tornado?
Yeah, a little over an hour ago.
It's been a long morning already, hasn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so 9:55. Thanks for that video. You can see that tornado going on by. Let's reset the right side of your screen. That is our camera at Memorial Stadium looking north and east.
Those features look to be gone, or look less pronounced, I should say.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's not quite as much there. The rain also going to obstruct our view. I noticed on the right side of the screen, kind of center right of the screen right there, at one point it looked like there might have been a funnel cloud. We're going to watch it all very closely here with this tornado warning, 9:55 now. I want to give an all clear for Champaign and Urbana south of I-74, including here at the TV station. We can go about our normal duties now. An all clear for this particular storm. Might not be done yet. Might not be done for the day. But we will continue to watch this all very closely here. Still some more rain coming in, but the severe storm with the rotation now is in northeast Urbana, off to the north and east towards Augerville, passing by the Carroll Fire Department as it moves off to the north and east. Let me show you the velocity product. This right here shows us the intensity of the rain and storms. The velocity shows us how those storms are moving. And it appears to me that maybe the rotation isn't as pronounced on radar. We're still going to watch with the sky cams. We're still going to watch with these areas here because they can pulse up, pulse on down. And while we're watching this particular storm, the one with an active warning, what am I seeing? Is that new?
Where are you at? DuPage County?
Oh, you know what? That's up in Chicago. Wow, they're issuing in Chicago.
DuPage County is up by Chicago.
Are we hearing hail out there? Is that what that is? Can somebody get outside and grab a photo of that for us? Pull the Neal Street camera up, in fact. Okay, we've got what appears to be some hail real quick here at the station. It doesn't look to be all that big, but I could hear it. If I can hear it, it's
yeah, it's enough. Yeah,
big enough. Happy February, everyone. This is the snow that we get from Mother Nature this time of month. It's not snow, it's hail. Sheesh. All right, just for the back, we will continue past 10 o'clock, so make sure Master Control knows that. We're going to continue with this coverage because this warning continues until 10:15. So, we kind of blew out the newscast here, and that's okay. We've got active weather, and we're going to continue to watch things here when we can. We'll see if news has any updates. At this point, I have not heard of any damage.
None reported so far that we've seen, so.
Yeah, there'll be some hail, and that'll be noisy, but it's not huge hail. It's not the hail that's going to destroy your car from what we could tell. It's going to be noisy if you're driving in it. You're not going to like it, but we'll be okay from that. That storm now, what camera are we looking at here? We still
Stadium.
See a camera?
You want to switch over to the station?
I'm wondering. I'm wondering this cell that just went overhead here by Carl Hospital. Maybe the studio. Corinne, did you run out there and grab some hail for us?
It's melting so fast, but it's about pea-sized hail hitting the ground and immediately disappearing.
That's kind of how pea-sized hail works here. That just seems like someone opened a bag of frozen peas and throws them. It got loud in here for a second. So, we've got the news folks. Matthew and Corinne are hanging out with us. We've got Adam just right here and whatnot. Yeah, see if you can't look from the studio camera to the east, second.
All right, I was looking to the south and west just in case there was another circulation, but... And so far, I've seen nothing.
It looks peculiar to me. Maybe that rotation pulsing up a little bit now on that storm that's warned west of Sellers.
There's up towards Urbana. That's where I'm looking at right now. I'm going to switch it over to Max 1.
Okay.
All right. Let's see if we can see it. I can focus it in, but.
Okay, so that is kind of east and northeast. Yeah.
Do you want it to move a little bit?
Yeah, maybe pivot it just to the right a little bit. I'm going to just make sure there's nothing under that base. This is a day where spotters are important. As many eyes in the storm as we can is important. Those eyes and ears are helpful, and we know you're messaging us fast and furious. I mean, the inbox is full of reports of videos and whatnot, and we really appreciate that for all of the reports. Now, this tornado warning continues until 10:15, and that will be about the time we kick it back here. We're staying with coverage. Looks like, I got a photo of some hail that was kind of up to dimes in the west side by Parkland there. Just kind of watching. Again, eyes in the sky. This tornado warning continues for Champaign County. Let's hit the big reset button here. And let's start from front to end here. And just real quick, we're hitting 10 o'clock. The news is ending normally, We're continuing extended coverage because we've got an active tornado warning still in the area. I know at 10 o'clock, The Price is Right. You want to watch it. I want to watch it too. The Price is Wrong today. We are dealing with some severe weather right now. And you can see these storms now. One tornado warning in effect for Champaign County, now northeastern Champaign County. There are still other storms that need to be monitoring with this here. I know of 3 tornadoes so far this morning in Champaign and in Ford County from this event. And, that's something that we're going to monitor closely here. I know folks are sending in more photos. I'm getting some more from these storms. This is a Champaign County issue primarily right now. We've got to watch now. I think Ford County, Paxton, Gibson, you're fine. We're going to watch east of Paxton, the little, I guess the second panhandle, the shorter panhandle that sticks out, northern Vermilion, southeastern Iroquois County, and then we'll watch these cells down in Coles and Douglas County as well. At this point, Shelbyville, Sullivan, Monticello, you're finished for the day. Even Watsika, I think, is all clear. It's this line here to the south and east where we've got some of that instability that is giving us these tornadoes, and 3 so far today. Let's take a look here at and pretty quickly, looking at the line now, pretty quickly in the next 15 minutes, any chance for a tornado in the Champaign-Urbana metro is going to end as they continue their northeastern track. And at this point, we've got an all clear for northeast, for Champaign and Urbana, except for northeast Urbana. The cell itself that's rotating looks to be now near Sellers, but we're just going to watch these other cells and keep an eye on them here. And you can see on our double box the camera looking off to the east and to the north. The National Weather Service will continue that tornado warning until 10:15. Adam, you've got that camera up. Talk a little bit about what we've seen today and what's been going on so far.
Yeah, if we could switch over to Leaks 1 or Max 1 real quick. That's what we're watching as these storms push through the region. So far, we still have that tornado warning, and that storm is still tornado warning. You probably just saw a flash of lightning right there, some daytime lightning, but we still have that tornado warning in effect for our northeastern corners of Champaign County. Does include Sellers Royal, and just outside of the Champaign-Urbana area, roughly, starting to see a little bit more of that activity towards Penfield, again, the northeast corners of our viewing area. I'm going to switch it over to radar real quick just to get a little bit more of an analysis going on here. We still have the cameras up just in case, but so far we've been seeing nothing but rain and some gusty winds now here in town too as well. That was pushing cameras around. Here's where we have our little cluster of storms there, just to the north and east of Champaign, north of Mira as well, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a little bit of hail just outside of Sellers, just to the north of 136. Might even seeing a little bit of more of those clusters of storms. But again, this stretches all the way from Kerr, Penfield, all the way down to Daly, Royal, Flatville, Sellers, and just to the northeast corner, and I wouldn't even say majority of it's starting to move out of there, of Urbana, the Urbana area. Now we're getting another update there, and you can see that it's starting to move away from the Urbana area, that tornado-warned storm. This isn't the only storm we're watching, too. We've got more cells down to the south here, just by Tuscola, another one. We just got another alert there from DuPage County. Okay, that's on our viewing area. That's okay. Okay, out towards Arthur, between Arthur and Arcola, even some cells as well. And these aren't overly impressive cells, but for this time of year, they are. You know, something we wouldn't see in the springtime. This is something we wouldn't really jump on normally, but we're seeing more of it here right now, and we're seeing this is worth looking at. Again, tornado warning still in effect there for northeastern Champaign County. Keep that in mind. That does include Royal, Sellers, Penfield, just to the east of Rantoul. And Rantoul is not in it. Gifford is one of the spots to watch out for. Flatville, Daly, and far northeast corner of Urbana is still in part of that as well. It does include part of 74, also 145 going towards 74. And yeah, to the north of St. Joseph too. So that's what we're watching here. The Champaign area, right now outside of it, we've had some hail. We've had a little bit of rainfall here in Champaign, Urbana. We're still watching these storms as well. I'm going to take another look at the camera here. Let's see what we can find here within this storm. Again, we're looking out to the north and east from our station on Neal Street, looking north and east, and right now it's really hard to see. That's the thing with some of these storms. We've had some pockets where we could see these storms clearly have rotation, development, and we really haven't seen so much of it now that we have the rain showers on the back side of these storms. I'm going to move it to the right a little bit just to get an idea of what's going on over by Campus Town. Nothing really. A lot of it's staying up to the northeast portions of the Champaign-Urbana area, as expected with radar. You might see some flashes on here, and that's only because we're seeing a little bit more of the lightning here on some of these cells. Just got another update here.
We got a tornado watch that's coming out momentarily, and that's going to include parts of east central Illinois, generally east of I-57. It will go until 3 o'clock. It will not last until 3 o'clock, though. Our severe threat will wrap up. I'll have that graphic up for you shortly.
Thank you, Jacob. Sorry about that. I'm just catching my breath for a second.
You and me both, right?
Right. And taking a look at these storms, though, again, this is what we're looking at. This main cell now moving to the north and east of Urbana. Let's switch it back to radar. Radar showing that where these clusters of storms have been. And really, this has been an ongoing threat, really, for the last almost 2 hours here. We've been watching these storms pulse on through here. They really started to pick up, you know. This is a great environment for shear for these thunderstorms. And again, this is the area we're seeing that tornado warning that is in effect until later in the next couple of minutes or so. I'm going to double check that real quick. Let's take a look there. That is for until the next 9 minutes. Next 9 minutes there. We have that tornado warning that does include the northeast corner of Champaign County. North of St. Joe, near Penfield, Daly, Royal, Flatville, Sellers. Those are the counties you need to watch out for. If you're not in your safe space, now's the time to do so. And not only is this bringing in a little bit of the rotation with it, but this is a storm to respect here. Again, Royal, Daly, Sellers, Flatville, Penfield, these are all the spots within that tornado warning. It's to the north and east of Champaign and just to the north and east of downtown Urbana as well, northeast of Urbana High School. It does include 74. We're starting to see the tail end of that. That in Cunningham Avenue, we're starting to see the tail end of that precipitation move off to the north and east here. So we're watching these storms. We're watching them on camera too, and they've had a little bit of structure once they get up close and personal. But otherwise, once they start to move away, it's hard to see. Visibilities have been a little low with these storms, and it's hard to see features. Earlier, though, we did catch one of the tornadoes that we have been reported on earlier on through our camera system, and that's really been a benefit here as well here. So we're going to keep watching these storms both on our cameras, but also looking at radar. Radar can show one thing, cameras can show another. They're a great combination between the two to get an idea of what these thunderstorms are really doing. And again, this is not the only spot that's going to see thunderstorms we're watching out for. Philo, just north of Philo, even out towards Tolono and out towards Chicken Bristle and Hayes. That's where we're seeing a little bit more of more clusters of storms, not quite as intense as the one up to the north, but again, these storms are not overall what we would really look at towards the spring, but we have enough wind shear and we have enough instability that we're getting these storms to go severe as well. Jacob?
Yeah, so we'll take it back and kind of take a big picture here of what's going on. I think there's a chance that the warning will actually drop by 10:15. What time is it? It's 10:07 right now. Yes. We will see. We still got 8 minutes. If it doesn't, downstream then is going to be northwestern Vermilion County. So an early heads up, Rankin, East Lynn, Hoopston, maybe as far southwest as Armstrong, Potomac. It'll be north of Danville, though. Not worried about that. Armstrong, kind of in that general direction. So we're going to watch it closely here. At this point, I can give an all clear for Champaign and Urbana. We've done that already. We just want to reiterate that. It started as a Champaign-Urbana issue. It is over for Champaign-Urbana at this point. North of 74, east of 45 is still where we're confined to this. Rantoul, we will give you the all clear. We will give the all clear for St. Joseph at this point, though St. Joseph will watch other storms downstream. Mahomet, you're good. Fisher, you're good. Places like that. All right, just had the new tornado watch come out here.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, I just saw that flash across, and so I am going to pull that up real quick for you. There you can see the counties in yellow now. It actually goes till 4 p.m. It goes until 4 p.m. And it's going to be for Champaign, Douglas, Coles, Cumberland, Clark, Edgar, Vermilion, Iroquois County, plus our Indiana counties. Does not include Ford County. I think that's the right call. It only includes Iroquois County for the southeastern part of the county. If you're in Watseka, Clifton, Ashcombe, you'll be fine for the day. But this goes until 4. It's not going to last until 4. As these storms move east, they'll clear that out. And probably by lunchtime, we'll be done with the severe threat, if not even by 11 a.m., based on how these storms are moving off to the north and east. So that's the graphic, and I think that's going to populate automatically on our social media platforms, too. We got a lot of nice, easy buttons that we can press and take care of things. Okay, the radar check again. Actually, you know what I really want to do? I want to show some new viewer videos. We know of 3 tornadoes at this point. This video right here, this is from the Clarence area. Let me restart it. and show you, and you can bring that full. This was the third tornado near Clarence in eastern Ford County as it moved off. You can see the windmill there. I saw that and I knew right away this was not, and that's a pretty, look at the size of that. That's a pretty sizable tornado that went on through. It's a nice stout stovepipe compared to the ropes that we've had. And that is why we've got the severe weather threat this morning. This is the third tornado from our area. Here's some of the reports of hail we've had. We've had dimes. We've had a few quarters slipped in there. A lot of pea-sized hail with these storms. Hail not really the main threat with the day today, but certainly we've still had that. Again, we appreciate our viewers for sending us photos safely. This is video of the second tornado that was north of Urbana, and it's a long video, so I can kind of fast forward through it. You almost see the rotation, and it appears to have gone away from that. Another video, this is another great video that came on in, and that's Interstate 50. This was right by Interstate 57. This is, I believe this is tornado number 2. They all look kind of similar at the end of the day, but there you can see that tornado right in the center of the screen from earlier, which is why we have coverage continuing here across the region. And we've had lots of reports, lots of photos. We greatly appreciate our viewers. The news team is playing cleanup to the mess the weather department makes, and they are working on taking care of graphics and news stories and reaching out to EMA officials. As of this point, we have not heard of damage in Champaign County. I'll be interested to hear more about Ford County, and in fact, I probably should text up there. Let me, Adam, you want to take over for a second? I'm gonna send a quick text.
Right.
Still have that tornado warning in Champaign County here.
Right.
It's not as impressive, but these storms have pulsed up and down, haven't they?
Yes, that's been the trend all morning here with these thunderstorms. Again, let's pull it up to Max 1. Thank you very much. And you'll notice that with Max 1, we have seen just these pulse of showers and thunderstorms just out of Flatville. I wouldn't be surprised if we had a little bit of hail in there as well, possibly even just towards the edge of Daly too. But just south of Flatville, that's the spot we're watching for maybe the potential for some hail. No sign or sign so far if they're going to expend that warning. We do have that tornado watch, though. The tornado watch in effect until about 4 o'clock for our viewing area here. The eastern portions of our viewing area. That does include Champaign County, Vermilion County, also Coles County as well. So we're going to keep an eye on that as we continue through. It's for Illinois. It does include Champaign, Clark, Coles, Cumberland, Douglas, Edgar, and Vermilion. That is until 4 o'clock later on today. And I would be surprised if we got those canceled pretty early for those far western counties in that tornado watch. So just keep that in mind. There's still some clusters of storms, and as Jacob mentioned, these have been pulsing back and forth, and we're in the right environment for these thunderstorms to become severe. That's why we've seen the severe storms kind of pulse in, pulse out, pulse in. The tornadoes have not lasted very long. They've been very brief, as mentioned earlier this morning. This is an environment that's conducive to great wind shear. Instability's there, enough for these severe storms, obviously, but that's what we've been watching all morning. And I wouldn't be surprised, again, just to the south of Flatville, possible for that.
All right, hey, real quick here. We just got that new severe thunderstorm. I want to say I just got off the phone with Terry Whitebird from the EMA in Ford County, and he says that at this point they don't know of any damage in that area, but we did get an extension of the warning. It is a change to a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag. And you can see on the right side of the screen zoomed in there, the red box is in Champaign County. The orange box, Adam, if you want to adjust your graphic real quick and kind of center that there, you can see this is going to be for the northwestern half of Vermilion County. There we go. We can look at it there. This is a severe thunderstorm warning with tornado possible tag, 60-mile-per-hour winds, quarter-size hail expected in that warned area. A tornado is possible. Rankin, Eastland, Hoopeston, Rossville, Alvin, Potomac, Armstrong, Collison. This will not include Danville. This will not include Oakwood. This will not include Sidell or Jamaica. Not going to include Georgetown. This is north of you with this particular batch of storms. So we will keep an eye on that. We will stay on wall-to-wall coverage for a few more minutes with this warning. I just want to make sure, we we kind of cut back and went to news, and then things pulsed up again, and we were back. And so we will play that same game here for a little bit. Checking further south and west, there's nothing really that catches my eye a whole lot here. South of Champaign towards Philo and east of Pasotum.
Tuscola and Arcola.
Yeah, nothing really sticks out to me. But those storms are moving into an area of slightly higher instability. And with the impressive wind shear that's happened, this is, something we'll continue to watch. And I know we had some stuff further to the south there. It doesn't look like a whole lot's happening there with those Cumberland County things. They may not quite be in the instability. So
Tornado warning has expired.
it has expired, 10:15. We are going to stay here for another 3 or 4 minutes just to cross our T's and dot our I's and make sure we're okay. We will stay on digital platforms, and we will run that from the weather switcher, give our production crews a break, but we'll be on standby until we are clear, or if we need to come back. So be aware of that, where if you're watching on TV now, you've got time. We don't have an active tornado warning. You can come over to our Facebook. You can come over to our Twitter. You can come over to even the WCIA3 News app. Stream that. Just scroll to the very bottom. It's the 4th box down where we stream it on there. And that's something that we'll keep an eye on. So severe thunderstorm warning now. It has what's called a tornado possible tag. A little bit of rotation there. Not a lot, but day like today, it seems to only be taking a little bit of rotation as those storms move off to the north and east. So if we get an out time, 10:18, 10:19, just let me know in the back, and we'll negotiate through that just fine here. That batch of storms now sits from near Sellers and Royal towards Penfield. Say that again. 10:18 will work. We'll do that. Penfield, Armstrong, Rankin, East Lynn. It's all clear. Ford County, you're good. The only part of Iroquois County that we were watching is going to be the southeastern part. Anywhere on I-57, anywhere north of US 24 is just fine. It's going to be the southeastern part of Iroquois County. I think they call that Wellington Lanford or something of that sort. That's where we will keep an eye on maybe some of these storms moving in that direction. Hoopeston, Rossville. Not a Danville issue, not an Oakwood issue, but something we're going to keep an eye on as we go for the next little bit. Real quick, we'll hit the reset. We're about a minute away from sending you back to programming. That'll be The Price is Right. We will stay on digital platforms. We will stream those on our weather switcher. You can join us there as we continue to watch what has been three tornadoes so far today. 3 confirmed tornadoes. We've had one west of Champaign, one north of Urbana, and one east of Paxton near Clarence and East Lynn. Any last second thoughts here, Adam?
No, I'm just trying to get more collections from what's going on here from the chat, but otherwise that's about it.
Yeah, we're going to kind of clean up a little of the mess we've left behind the scenes too. Remember, the tornado watch is in effect until 4 p.m. I do not expect that to last until 4 p.m. It will probably be done in the next hour or two, and when that happens, we'll let you know. We'll give you an all clear on Facebook as well as we continue to monitor things. I'm meteorologist Jacob Dickey here in the Weather Center. We've got meteorologist Adam Sharinsky. We know Kevin's been driving around, sent us some photos as well here. We've had lots of you share photos and reports from the severe weather, and we greatly appreciate that. Thanks for being with us here for severe weather coverage early on this Monday morning. We will hope to not see you back here until noon. If not, we'll be here and we'll be on digital platforms. Are we clear?
We're still live on the game.
It's just
Okay, we're clear.
what?
We're clear.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. So we're clear. You're good. Take a break. Just keep close by in case we've got to jump back on. Same for production staff in the back.
Yeah.
We still have our recording.
We're going to keep our coverage going on digital platforms here. And Tristan just texted me and said, mics are still hot. He's one of our producers. Yeah, we're keeping our digital platforms going here. You know, behind the scenes, we can kind of wiggle through things and keep an eye on things here. So, you know, I got Marianne coming in, just kind of behind the scenes resetting what we're looking at here. We'll keep close by. We don't need to be on TV, but at any moment's notice, we might be. I know I'm supposed to record ag in the classroom.
Right.
As long as I've got this, we're going to have to stay with this.
Okay, do you want me to ask her to come back another day?
Yeah, ask her how long she has and then how much time she has. And I can call her. We can maybe do this afternoon. Or
She's in B.
okay. I'm gonna be here working, so if you take care of that for me, I'd appreciate that.
Sure.
What a morning it's been, folks. So we're watching here, kind of, you know, supposed to do other things at 10 o'clock and get things done. There's meetings and whatnot. We're here watching severe weather, but that's our jobs, and we take pride in that here. Severe thunderstorm warning continues for northeastern Champaign and northern Vermilion counties, and will continue to do so until the, let's see here. What camera do I need to select? Okay, so I've got camera. I'm going to kind of switch things around, and we'll throw the camera up there. There we go. So this severe thunderstorm warning continues. I don't have any immediate signs of rotation that have me, you know, oohing and ahhing. But we look here, and there's just these little weak spots that show up. And those weak spots have been enough for us to where we've had to, you know, actually be on air for some warning. You almost see one between Rankin and Potomac. You almost see one near Royal. I don't really see much south of Champaign here. If these storms can tap into that instability, and they have, then you know, that's enough to cause some problems, right, Adam?
Mm-hmm. Hey, Wednesday at 10 a.m., will that work for you?
I think so, yeah.
Cool.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, so we're going to be here. We're just monitoring on digital platforms. The TV is back to the Price is Right. There's some folks that are happy about that, I'm sure. And we're happy to not be on TV. But you can see here with the storms as they continue to move on through, just some weak rotation that we've got to babysit and keep an eye on. Okay, is that an old warning that I'm getting on my watch? I think that's an old one. Oh, no, Vermilion County, Indiana. So, yeah, you can see down by Terre Haute there's a new storm that's developing. And right over Terre Haute there's that... I don't know if I can get the Indianapolis radar up. Looks like it's not working right. That's okay. We will use the Lincoln one and kind of peek at it here. That's going to be for, that's going to stay pretty much out of our area. That's a Terre Haute TV station problem. We've got our sister station there that will monitor that as it moves to the north and east. Still going to watch closely Tuscola, Tolono, east of there. Champaign-Urbana, we're done for the day. Tolono, we're done for the day. Close call, Tuscola eastward. It'll be southeastern and eastern Champaign County. It's going to be Vermilion County, far southeastern Iroquois County. And so we're going to watch all of that closely here. Okay. Okay, that was at 9:20. What a morning, Adam. What a morning it has been here as we've had multiple confirmed tornadoes on a typical February day, and that's how things seem to work sometimes around here. Just kind of checking through social media reports and whatnot. I've been getting a lot of photos and whatnot, even more. Yeah, I'm getting more videos of that Paxton area tornado. Say, just had some 10 a.m. quarter-size hail in Gifford. I'm still live on digital. So if you want to, yeah, we'll have you guys on standby at this point. But yeah, so quarter-size hail at 10 a.m. in Gifford. Some more reports here and there. So let's go ahead and keep an eye on these storms. Again, this is not as intensive or in-depth coverage as it is on TV, but that's okay. Had a report a few minutes ago of quarter-size hail in Gifford. And if I look here, you know, that's
That would make sense.
That might be
considering-
that south cell there.
Yeah, that makes sense because I'm.
That south cell that slipped on through now past Armstrong, north of Potomac. This other cell here near St. Joe, what does the camera look like looking east there, Adam, towards St. Joe? Is that
I'll pull it up and see and start to move cameras around. Let's see. Which one do you want, studio or station?
either or?
Studio
I'm just
or-
curious what it looks like towards St. Joe at this point. We got Rico saying heavy wind and rain in St. Joe, heavy rain in Royal.
Okay. Let's see what I can get with the. That'd be straight west. So
Say it again.
that'd be straight
You
west.
seeing much?
Um,
Kind of fuzzy. Yeah, I'm wondering if that southern spot in the north side of St. Joe, what it looks like. I might.
radar just updated to show it a little bit further north, so I'll pull.
Yeah,
that
you
with
know, we're not going to get a good view of things on a day like today all the time from radar, but.
We got lucky earlier.
Okay, they just updated that severe thunderstorm warning. The good news is they have dropped the tornado possible tag. Seeing some folks saying Carl Hospital is back in shelter. Carl, Champaign-Urbana, we are all clear, all done. No need to shelter. U of I, kids are going to class. Schools, they're teaching and learning there. Hospital, go about their business. We are all clear in Champaign-Urbana at Willett Airport. There's no threat at this point. So we are all good on that. So just want to reiterate that. These storms, you know, I'm not saying a whole lot. We have had reports of quarter-size hail near Gifford in Champaign-Urbana. There may be some quarter-size hail near Royal. In fact, while I got a chance, let's pop up the hail size. It'll take a minute for the data to populate. That's okay. Let's see if it gives it. Sometimes it takes it a minute or two. It'll show us kind of what we've seen so far and what we're seeing. So there have been reports in the Gifford area of quarter-size hail and whatnot. So we will monitor that. Adam, do you mind turning on your mic and chatting for a little bit?
Yeah, no problem. Let me just make sure I got the right one up.
I think you're on sports. Is that right?
Yes.
You just got to turn the dial for sports mic. Is yours already up?
Yep.
Okay, just turn mine down then for a minute.
Okay.
I'm going to let you take over and kind of chat here. Again, we're just on digital.
All right. If we could have it over on Max 1, that'd be awesome.
There, is that?
I've got Max 1. Yep.
Yep, there it is. Okay, so you got it. You can drive for a little bit.
If we could. Yep, Max 1, perfect. So yeah, we're watching the showers and thunderstorms kind of clustery. That's one thing that's kind of interesting to watch about these, all the way from basically up towards Wellington, down towards Arcola even. Very clustery storms that have had nothing but little spins and rotations within them. We did mention that any thunderstorm threat or tornado threat that we had for today within our thunderstorms, those would be brief spin-ups. They have been brief spin-up tornadoes so far. So far we've heard not much in terms of really or anything at all in terms of damage. We're going to keep an ear to the ground on that though. We still have that severe thunderstorm warning there for northern Vermilion County and far western Champaign County. It does include Royal, where Royal is probably seeing most of the precipitation right now. Just to the east of Royal, I wouldn't be surprised if we had a little bit of hail maybe, or some heavy rain.
Report of $50 hail.
Do you want me to turn you back up? Jacob?
What?
Do you want me to turn you back up?
No, just telling you.
Oh. So we've got rotation here as well. Not rotation, excuse me. We've got cells there in Potomac and the Daly, Royal area. Henning, we're still watching these storms. Again, the TOR tag has been taken down, the tornado possible tag. So we're keeping an eye on these cells as they move through. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail, which we've already gotten a report of there, have already pushed through this area. And it does include, Potomac, Henning, Penfield, Rossville, Alvin, those are the spots we're watching right now. Outside of this, we still have a tornado watch, and if I can pull up my alerts real quick, I can possibly show it, but let me see if I can find it real quick. Nope. We'll take a look at the cameras at least here, and you can see some of the rain still here in Champaign-Urbana. Champaign-Urbana, you're good to go back to normal everyday functions here in town. If you're still sheltering in place now, it's not really the time to do so. You're good now. You're in the clear. It's areas to the east that we're still watching for, like Potomac, Royal, Rossville, and Hoopeston as well for these storms. Again, 45 minutes left on this severe thunderstorm warning. That's going to go all the way until about later on in the next couple of minutes or 45 minutes or so. So we've got some time still on this. Not the only severe thunderstorm warning either, but that's mostly outside of our viewing area there towards Terre Haute. These have all been really a clustery line, a train of storms as we like to call it sometimes. Pretty messy at times too, and this is not the only storm we've seen kind of within this cluster that's been severe warmed here. So we're still watching this storm as it moves through. And again, severe thunderstorm warning still in effect there for Vermilion County. Northern Vermilion County does include Collision, Henning, Rossville, Hoopeston, Potomac. Those are the spots we're watching out for. Does not include Danville or Snyder or West Newell or Bismarck or Tilton, Oaks, Georgetown. You guys are in the clear right now for this one. Royal, the one spot really in Champaign County that's under it, and Daly too as well. Those are two spots to watch out for. But overall, this is a storm we're watching because there's a potential for a little bit of hail and some strong winds with this as well here. But we've had a cluster of storms throughout the entire day that we've just been keeping an eye on through today. Again, we have also just these cells popping through a little cluster down to the south, places like St. Joe, Sydney, Broadlands, Villa Grove, and even out towards Newman, a few cells as well. Camargo, that's also known as Murdoch. Those are little cells that haven't really had much just yet. We're keeping an eye on them, but really not as impressive as it was earlier on. And again, not the only tornado or severe thunderstorm warning, excuse me. There's one in Terre Haute as well, just north of Terre Haute. Barely within our viewing area, not really in our viewing area, but it's one of two spots we're watching here in central Illinois and far western Indiana. Again, we have been getting really a lot of information from some of our viewers, bringing in video, bringing in pictures for us, and we really appreciate that. That's going to help us a lot here, get a better idea, both for the National Weather Service and for us, of what's been happening with these storms. And I like to mention that these are storms that are, while they're nice to see on radar, they give us, the radar tells us a lot. Going and looking through the storm and at the storm in real time on these cameras really helps as well. So our stadium camera, not picking up a whole lot, which is good. Neither is our studio camera either. We're seeing a lot of gray, and visibility is going to be lower with these storms now that they're moving out of our viewing area here across the area. So just keep that in mind here. We've been having storms all day. Fortunately, no tornado warnings right now. We just have the severe thunderstorm warnings. There is one tornado warning, but that is just outside of our viewing area there in Indiana. And also another severe thunderstorm warning there towards the southeast corner there of those Indiana counties as well, north of Terre Haute. Really, Terre Haute is going to have coverage of that one. 136 is one of the spots on the roadways. I know probably people are still headed to work or heading to lunch here, or maybe coming home from work after working the late shift here, and you might notice that you have some spots of heavy precipitation, hail, gusty winds. And if you have a smaller car, those gusty winds are really not going to help with those traveling down the road. So this does include Collision. These are some of the spots within the severe thunderstorm warning. Again, that goes into the next, roughly 42 minutes here for Champaign and Vermilion County. I could see that being trimmed back a little bit there in Champaign County. Royal, looking like a lot of the heavier precipitation is out of it there for it. Now looking closer towards the east of Daly, near Collision, Daly, along 49 there, Armstrong, Potomac. Those are the spots we're seeing a little more of the heavier precipitation with this. Maybe some gusty winds with it as well. Hoopeston, also another spot we're watching a little bit there towards 9 and just outside of East Lynn. Rossville, that's another spot that's under this severe thunderstorm warning. Take these storms and take them seriously, because we have had severe thunderstorm warnings all day, and also tornado warnings as well. We've had quite the morning here in central Illinois. Usually when we talk about severe weather, this isn't as early in the day as we normally would talk about the severe weather threat. North of Brothers, Penfield, excuse me, looking outside of those areas, that's where we're seeing not so much the severe thunderstorm warning right now. Okay. Looking at some reports here as well. And again, we do have that severe thunderstorm warning in effect for the next 40 or so minutes, 41 minutes there for Champaign and Vermilion County. That's going to continue on here for, up until 11:15 a.m. So we've got some time with this one. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail with this. Moving northeast at 40 miles per hour here. So this is what we're watching with this storm. Take another look outside, and our cameras really can't catch too much more from this. The ones that are closer by are stationary there in Danville, but there's a look at the clouds moving to the east there in the studio, looking out west towards where those severe thunderstorms would be. Let's take a look at the stadium camera. Maybe get a better view, more wide view of these storms. Again, can't really see too much from this as when the storms were going through Champaign-Urbana area. And again, we only have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings, really only one in our viewing area. That's the one in northern Vermilion County. That has been trimmed back, though. Now Champaign County out of the warning area. Still includes northern Vermilion County, Potomac, Henning, Alvin, Rossville, Hoopeston, all the way to north of Collision, but areas to the east of Penfield, that's where that severe thunderstorm warning is still in effect. That goes until about 11:15. Again, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts are possible, even quarter-sized hail too. No tour tag with this one. That's good news as well for us. No tornado possible tag, which is good news. That means it's even downgraded even more than what we had for those tour tag possible ones. Again, places like Hoopeston, all the way down towards Route 136, Potomac. These are the spots that are seeing the precipitation right now, the heavier precipitation. Might even see some strong wind gusts in there as well. Just gonna see if I can switch over some of the velocities here on this. That's not what I want. That's okay. And if you're just joining us here, again, we're just watching the severe thunderstorm warning there for northern Vermilion County. The area kind of highlighted in the orange-yellow color there. Okay. If you heard that, that's up north towards Chicago, away from us, outside of our viewing area. We're still looking to see what we can get. There we go. Velocities here. A little bit of rotation there with these storms. Starting to get into a really rough area, though, in terms of radar coverage. Getting pretty far from the radar. But again, we still have that severe thunderstorm warning in Potomac and Rossville. That is still until 11:15. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts possible. Could even see a few pockets here and there of potentially some hail too as well. So we'll keep an eye on the storm. Getting some wind gust reports there from some of our local airports. 48 miles per hour there in Decatur at Macon County. The airport there, Capitol Airport there at 53 miles per hour, 51 in Coles County at Coles County Airport, and 49 there at Willard Airport in Champaign County. Ultimately, not super, those aren't really severe level thresholds, but those are still impressive wind gusts nonetheless, enough to knock over a few things outside for sure. Storm's looking a little less impressive there on Storm Tracker Doppler as well, not quite as intense and robust with precipitation, but still something to keep an eye out for. And again, they have trimmed back that storm as well from Champaign County and now moving it towards just Vermilion County, really the main focus as well here. Rossville, Potomac, those are the spots we're watching. North of Collision, north of Bismarck, Hoopeston, you're also in that severe thunderstorm warning as well. That's till 11:15. Jacob, you got anything?
No, is my mic on?
I can turn it back on. There we go.
There we go. No, I don't. I was just kind of playing clean up with the news after you and I made a mess this morning.
It happens.
Happens, right? Yeah,
Right.
yeah, we decided to make things go on. We still got a lot of people watching online. I think what's going to happen at this point is we have consistently not seen strong rotation,
which is good,
on the storms. We will continue to watch, and we may have to watch more. Edgar Coles Clark County is moving forth, but with the storm in Vermilion County, the number for today for tornadoes may be at 5 in Illinois. They're just issuing new tornadoes up in the Chicago metro area. up the line from this.
Yep.
The better shear seems to be slightly north, but as I look in here and just kind of check for, comparatively, you can see the rotation there in Indiana. You can see that rotation in Indiana, and that's going to be kind of close to. Where are you from, Valpo?
I'm from Maryville, which is outside of Valpo. I went to school at Valpo.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you went to school.
This is all. That's all mine.
So you're up there. That's all your territory. Yeah. It seems like maybe the shear is slightly better.
Mm-hmm.
There is still some subtle features of rotation, perhaps near Hoopeston and Rossville, but it's nothing that's imminent. And so we're going to keep watching that on digital platforms where we're live at right now for a little bit while longer. So I think the safe thing to do, Adam, is we can stay on the stream and kind of walk people through these for a little while longer at the speed they're moving. Once they cross the state line, we'll start to wind things down. Let me switch and look downstream. Yeah, there's nothing that really sticks out to me at this point. Now, Hoopeston, Rossville, that's kind of the spot that shows up maybe slightly.
The most intriguing spot.
It does. I don't know if there's anyone that's out there.
Henning, Alva, Potomac, Armstrong.
It's kind of, even the radar isn't in a great spot for that.
No. It's a weird little radar hole.
So we'll watch. We'll keep an eye on that. So I think we'll just kind of sit here for a little bit while longer. And if you're okay with that, I'll let you kind of drive a little bit on digital. I mean, it's not going to be, necessarily wall-to-wall intensive coverage.
No.
We're going to be here, and folks that are in northern Vermilion County, that's where we're staying for.
Right.
I don't know if you agree with that. I'm going to take care of a little extra business behind the scenes as the news is asking 50 billion questions. What happened? Where we need to go? What do we do? And so kind of helping to negotiate on that side of things. So does that sound good to you?
Yep. Just going to keep...
Perfect. Go ahead and mute my mic then, and I'll let you keep driving the ship.
All right. Cool. So we're looking outside, and we're still tracking, watching these thunderstorms as they push through. We're back on Max 1, hopefully. There we go, Max 1, just want to make sure. Hoopeston, Rossville. Rossville getting the heaviest amount of precipitation right now. Looking at Potomac, that's also where we're seeing a little bit of heavy precipitation. 136 and 9, those are I believe that's 9, if not, that might be 1, excuse me. We're at 1 in Illinois, yes. Those are the two spots we're watching out for. That's where you're seeing a lot of the precipitation right now. Again, Rossville, Alvin, Henning, Potomac, Jamesburg, north of 74, which is good, north of Danville. If you want to know the rest of Vermilion County, Oakwood, Fithian, Snyder, Catlin, those are all spots that are really not too bad. Georgetown, Indianola, Ridge Farms, Seidel, not spots we're worried about right now. But we are still watching this severe thunderstorm warning that has until about 11:15 to expire here. No words on what they're going to do next with this as it moved upstream. And again, on radar, it's really not as impressive as it was a little bit ago here. Collision is in this as well, but they've trimmed it away from out towards Champaign County, where we've had a lot of activity for it today. South towards Broadlands, a few more thunderstorms there. I don't know if they'll put a warning on that. That's possibly a good question, but Jamaica in that line of sight for more thunderstorms. Not saying they're severe, but could be more thunderstorms out there. You might hear a couple rumbles of thunder. Some very minor rotation, if any at all. It's really not as impressive as it was earlier. Okay, those are just reports coming in. Don't worry. Don't get alarmed. So far, we're not getting any damage reports, but reports of where storms have been so far here. Again, Brothers, not a part of that. Danville and Vermilion County, south of Danville, you're good. Again, Broadlands area might get some rumbles of thunder here. We're going to keep an eye on that, obviously. Let's pull it back a bit. And there's one other cluster of storms down to the south, just outside of Charleston, near Ashmore, and not too far from 16 there. Brighton, Oakland, they're starting to see a little bit more of the thunderstorm activity, but nothing really worth writing home about. Really, there's more activity now starting to happen more to the north in northern Indiana, northern Illinois. That's where they're seeing a bit more of the tornado warnings there, especially towards northwest Indiana. They're getting more of the activity right now, and a lot of our precipitation now starting to move closer into the Indiana state line there between, wow, really getting close to the state line there, just to the northeast of Upston. Out to the west, let's talk about places like, oh, I don't know, Hayworth, Clinton, Bloomington Normal, Delavan, Petersburg, you know, Springfield, those areas. We're starting to see really the back end of this as well. Nothing really to write home. They're really out of the clear right now. We're more worried about the eastern cells that are within that tornado watch, even trimmed back more so within that last scan or two of that severe thunderstorm warning. Rossville, north of Bismarck, north of Chemical and Helena, south of Hoopeston. Hoopeston, you're out of it right now. It just looks like Rossville's the one major spot here. Maybe Alvin and Henning within that severe thunderstorm warning. Just a general severe thunderstorm warning. So they're trimming it back a little bit. Could still see some 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. 1-inch hail possible. That's till 11:15. Wouldn't be surprised if they, will cancel it once it gets into Indiana. But those are the storms we're watching right now. A little bit of a cluster towards Collision, Fithian. Down south towards Jamaica, that's a little bit more of an interesting storm near Broadlands. We'll have to keep an eye on that just to see if it gets a warning on it, but nothing in terms of, nothing really sticks out except for it is a thunderstorm with a little bit of heavy precipitation within it. These storms are starting to move out of the viewing area slowly but surely. Really not going at the speed that some people probably would like, but they are booking it at times. We had storms earlier today going up to about 50 miles per hour. Right now, this storm here, there in northeastern Vermilion County, that one is going to keep going until about, or it's moving about 45 miles per hour. So not quite as quick as what we saw earlier on. And as Jacob mentioned a little bit ago, the best shear and the more active weather up towards the north there in northern Indiana. That's up for Jasper County in Indiana. Interesting. Bismarck, you're north of that, you're south of that. North of that is where their warning is still. A little bit of a cluster of precipitation there between Hoopeston, around Route 9 there. That's where we're seeing a little bit just south of 9. That's where we're seeing a lot more of the heavier precipitation with this storm right now. So some heavy rainfall if you're traveling out and about. Just be mindful of that. Strong winds too as well here. We've already had some non-thunderstorm gusts up to close to 50 miles per hour throughout much of our major airports around central Illinois. There was a report of 51 miles per hour there. 51 miles per hour there, excuse me, from a non-thunderstorm wind gust there in Coles County. Willard at 49, 53 at Capitol Airport there in Sangamon County. And then Decatur, about 48 miles per hour. Peoria, 44. So some strong gusty winds, even outside of thunderstorms, and that's something we were talking about all day. Again, severe thunderstorm warning still in effect until 11:15 for Vermilion County, and 1-inch hail possibility, maybe even seeing some gusty winds. This storm on the back end towards Rossville, not quite as impressive, and some of these cells have really kind of fallen apart. Jamaica cell, just to the east of Jamaica, or west of Jamaica, and Maystown looking a little bit more impressive. Between Maystown, Jamaica, and Homer, that little area, that's a little bit more interesting to look at, but no warnings on it yet, no indication of a warning being on there right now. You might hear some noises, and that's really coming in from the chat, just more talks of what's going on from these thunderstorms to the north of us, outside of our viewing area. So just keep that in mind. Yeah. Yeah, every time you hear the air, it's like Pavlovian for us meteorologists. You hear it, you instinctively just know to look at chat. All right, so this cell right here, north and east of Rushville, there's a little bit of precipitation. Rossville, I'm sorry. Rossville, seeing a little bit more of the shower and thunderstorm activity still pushing off to the north and east, getting closer and closer to the state line. That's where the bulk of the precipitation is. I think Henning, Alvin, you're pretty good right now in terms of the heavier precipitation. That's going to be closer towards Route 9 between Hoopeston and the state line going into Indiana. So that's what we're watching right now. Again, this is until 11:15. Could see some strong wind gusts still out of the storm. Some linear wind gusts out there. let's pull it back a little bit. I know I'm going back and forth, Broadlands, even down towards Jamaica. There's more of a cells down there, tapping into a little bit more of the moisture, but they're staying sub-severe right now, and we'll keep an eye on those. But I think right now they're staying sub-severe, which is good. All the tornado warnings are north of our viewing area, up towards northwest Indiana, away from us. So that's also good news as well. We're going to pull back a little bit more, even out towards, I would say even out towards Charleston, Coles County, a little bit of a cell out there between Charleston and Paris, more Oakland area. That's where they're seeing another chance for showers and thunderstorms. Again, not really seeing too much from these storms just yet. We're going to keep an eye on them still, but only one warning really to contend with, and that's near Houston.
Okay, cool. Hey,
So-
I appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Jacob's doing stuff on the back end for our news team out there as they get ready for the day. A lot of today's coverage will be, or news coverage will be about what happened today here weather-wise. Chrisman, nothing going on there. Again, just a little cluster of thunderstorms that's really starting to move off to the north and east away from us. Slowly but surely. And that's the thing, these thunderstorms have really slowed down too as well. We had earlier on with some of our earlier warnings, storms moving at 55 miles per hour earlier this morning. Thunderstorms were moving at 60 miles per hour here now, really down to 45 miles per hour. So they're taking their time. Not quite as intense of storms here. Not seeing anything to write home about rotation-wise within these little cells near Jamaica, Fairmount, Homer, southern portions of Vermilion County. Look like more heavier precipitation. As Jacob mentioned, the better shear is out towards the north and west. We're still going to keep an eye on these cells, obviously. If the northern Indiana is where they're seeing a better chance or better situation for that, for the shear.
Okay. With that, I think we can probably wrap up.
Do you want me to turn your mic back on?
No, I think you can just wrap up coverage.
All right.
Storms exiting. We don't have anything of concern at this point. So.
Yeah, we're going to take it off for right now. Hopefully we don't have to come back on for the rest of the day. It's been quite a busy morning here. But yeah, we're going to wrap things up. If you have more reports, send them our way. Pictures, anything you can show us, video, that'd be very helpful. Here's a last look at the thunderstorms. We're going to reset real quick. And you can see that we've still got some thunderstorms there in southern Vermilion County that are not warned right now, but we do have the warnings up there towards northeastern Vermilion County. That's starting to push into Indiana right now, and even a cell out there towards Coles County and Edgar County, north of Kansas. That's where we're watching for more storms, but nothing severe right now. We'll take it off of here right now, and we'll come back if need be. But for right now, let's kind of wrap it up for now. What do you think, Jacob?
That's it.